Have you ever stopped to think about what actually happens in that split second after you click buy on a stock? It just feels so instant, almost like magic. But behind that magic, there's this massive, powerful engine that keeps the entire Indian stock market running. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the story of one of the most important companies you've probably never really thought about, the invisible engine that powers it all.
All right, so let's start with the big question. You buy a share of a company. It's yours now. But it's not like they mail you a fancy piece of paper anymore, right? So where is it? Is it just a line of code on your broker's server? Well, the answer is actually simpler and way more interesting than you might think.
Your stocks go into what's called a securities depository. The best way to think about it is like a super high-security digital bank vault, but just for your investments. Instead of storing physical cash, it holds the digital records of all your stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, making sure they're safe and can be moved around electronically in a flash.
And in India, one of the two main players running this massive digital vault is this company right here, CDSL, or Central Depository Services Limited. For millions and millions of investors, they are that invisible engine, working quietly in the background to make every single transaction convenient, dependable, and totally secure.
Now, you might think a company working in the background would have a pretty steady, maybe even quiet business. But you'd be way off. This invisible engine just had a year of absolutely explosive growth. Seriously, the numbers are just staggering.
Let's just start with the sheer scale of it all. By the end of the last fiscal year, there were over 19 crore, that's 190 million, demat accounts in India. Every single one of those represents an investor, and with every trade, a company like CDSL is involved. This number is just rocketing up, and that's the fuel for their whole business.
And all that market activity? It translated directly into some record-breaking financials. CDSL's consolidated revenue hit an all-time high of nearly 1,200 crore rupees. And we're not talking about a small jump here. That's a huge 32% increase from the year before, which just shows you how much the market is expanding.
And that awesome revenue, it flowed right down to the bottom line. Their profit after tax shot up by 25% to 526 crore rupees. This shows a business that isn't just growing for the sake of it, it's growing with incredible efficiency and profitability.
But this isn't just about the company's revenue. It's about the sheer value of what they're protecting. Just look at this chart. The total value sitting in their digital vault has nearly doubled in just 2 years, soaring past 70 trillion rupees. I mean, that just illustrates the immense trust the entire market places in their system.
Okay, so the numbers are huge, right? But the story of CDSL isn't just about big figures on a balance sheet. It's about what those numbers really represent. Millions of everyday people entering the financial markets. And CDSL is playing a massive role in educating and empowering them.
You see, they're not just providing a service. They're actively trying to build a more financially savvy country. In just 1 year, they ran over 2,500 awareness programs for tens of thousands of people. And what's really cool is they're running targeted campaigns for women's financial literacy and even dedicated programs for armed forces personnel and their families, making sure everyone has the tools they need.
And get this, where are these programs happening? A whopping 60% are in Tier 3 cities, the smaller towns across India. This is no accident. It's a deliberate strategy to bring financial knowledge to places that might have been overlooked, making sure the country's economic growth includes everyone.
And they're doing it with a really human touch. This little mascot is part of their effort to demystify finance, to make it feel less intimidating and more approachable, especially for first-time investors. It seems like a small thing, but it points to a much bigger mission, making investing accessible for all.
So, we've seen the massive growth and the focus on empowerment, but how do they actually pull it all off? How do they manage all this securely? The answer, of course, is technology. So, let's take a look at the tech that makes this whole system possible.
To really appreciate what CDSL does, you have to remember the old way. I'm talking physical share certificates that could get lost or stolen, transactions that took weeks, and everything done by mail. The CDSL way is a completely different world. It's instant, it's electronic, and it's secure, all done from your phone or your computer.
Take their eDIS service, for example. That stands for Electronic Delivery Instruction Slip. When you sell a stock, this is the magic happening behind the scenes. You log into your broker, get sent over to the CDSL page, pop in a secure OTP from your phone, and boom, it's done. Your transaction is authorized. It's seamless, fast, and most importantly, it gives you, the investor, direct, secure control over your own assets. Of course, when you're guarding a digital vault with trillions of rupees inside, security is everything. And I mean everything. They are constantly defending that vault, with real-time threat monitoring, regular audits, and advanced detection to stay ahead of any risks. It's a 24/7 operation to ensure the market's integrity and every investor's peace of mind.
So CDSL has built this incredible engine that's powered a massive expansion in the Indian markets. But they're not just sitting back and relaxing. They are already looking ahead, planning for the next phase of growth and investor empowerment.
Their future focus? It's crystal clear. Tear down any remaining barriers. That means making investing even easier and more accessible for women and young people. It means tackling complex challenges like how wealth is transferred smoothly from one generation to the next. It all comes back to that one core idea: empowering every single investor with the tools they need to build their own financial future. And this leaves us with a final, really powerful question to chew on. We've seen how technology and education have brought millions of new investors into the market. The foundation has been built. But as India's financial story continues, what's the next great innovation, the next frontier that will truly empower every last citizen to take part and build their own wealth?